Welcome back to my channel. My name is Belle and this is the Belle Perspective. And today we're going to be reviewing Love and Hip Hop Huntsville, aka Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try my best not to drag Martell Holt through the streets by his chinny chin chin. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try what's happening, what happened. So Dr. Francis, who we absolutely love, we are here for Dr. Francis, okay? Because he is a good man, Savannah. He is telling Tisha that he has a couples retreat that he typically attends or hosts, and he wants him and Tisha's friends to come. Tisha and her friends to come. And so Tisha's kind of like, I don't know. You know how she talks. Sorry, sorry, Tisha. I don't mean to pick at you, but I don't know. Because Marcel don't really like, I don't know. But I'm going to tell, he going to come. He going to come. So I guess Tisha comes up with a lie so that Marcel will go. Doesn't tell him it's Dr. Francis that's going to be there. Tiffany and Lewis are coming, Maurice and Kimmy, which we gonna have to talk about that too, Maurice. So again, Maurice is already getting on my nerves. Beginning first episode, first part, he started to get on my nerves. Talking about how Dr. Francis fixed him. Maurice, baby. Let me tell you something. Dr. Francis has not even began to chip away at the nonsense that you are. Okay? I really want you to know that, and I want you to understand that, because guess what? Life is a huge classroom, and you are never fully fixed or learned until you die. Okay? There's so much more that you need to learn and absorb from Dr. Francis. I need you to close your mouth and open your ears, okay? So he kept saying, Dr. Francis fixed me. He fixed me. And Kimmy is over just sitting there lovingly like, Jesus is working on him. I'm like, Kimmy, there is no way in ham sandwich that I would have ever played along with him. Honestly, I feel like Kimmy is just wanting to be married, because I don't understand why she's with Maurice. I feel like she literally has to dumb herself down to be with this man. And it may not even be intellectually. Actually, yeah. And we'll talk about it. Tiffany and Lewis. The couple we don't care about. Okay? So Tiffany and Lewis, I'm going to be honest, I don't really feel like they have real true issues. Yes, Lewis is scared of Tiffany, but we already knew that when she planned a surprise proposal and basically a wedding. Wait a minute, not even proposal. Planned a surprise wedding and forced that man down the aisle. So it wasn't really hard, Dr. Francis, to know that Lewis is scared of Tiffany, you know? So, anyway, so there, let me set up the scene. I try not to recap the show because I know you've already seen it, but I think it would be helpful to do so. So Dr. Francis is meeting them at the ranch or the lodge or the cabin or wherever they're at. Maurice and Kimmy get there first. Again, Maurice is ranting about how he was fixed, and they're waiting on Tiffany and Lewis, who show up shortly after. Tiffany gets there dressed in, I don't know, she looked like the abominable snowman with that sweater dress on. It just didn't look right on her. I don't know. Tiffany is a beautiful woman, but for some reason she doesn't accentuate her looks with what she wears. I don't know. Her hairstyle ages her. The crimps, she just wears things that makes her look old, you know, older, especially if she says she's 32, like, or 34. Girl, really? Anyway, so she gets in with this abominable snowman sweater on, looking ridiculous. Whatever. Lewis, boop, 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 big old loopity-loo, Lulu comes in. I'm gonna start calling him Lulu. So Lulu comes in after her, and she stops. Dr. Francis is talking. He's basically saying, you know, hey, I don't fix people, because again, Maurice is still ranting, I've been fixed. And I'm like, are you fixed like a dog? Did they cut your stuff off? Or are you, like, what are you saying, Maurice? Be quiet. Shh, shh, shh. Okay, so Dr. Francis has said it straight. Listen, I don't fix people. That's what a mechanic does. What I do is give people tools to live their lives, to better their relationships. That's what I do, okay? And so Tiffany interrupts the conversation and says, I have a phone call. I told my husband about it. I've got to go. Dr. Francis is like, commitment. Like, are you committed to this? And he basically lays into Lulu and says, you are afraid to tell your wife how you really feel. You're afraid to tell your wife when she's wrong. You're afraid of your wife, basically, because you're here committed to it and she's out on her phone, and you can't have two competing priorities. So what is it? Lewis, again, trying to save face, pretty much says, you know, I'm defending my wife, but I'm here, I'm committed. Lulu, please stop. Yikes. So Marceau, Tisha, they're late. I think they're typically late. That's usually what they do. Kimmy calls her on the phone and says, Tisha, where you at? You know, we're here. Dr. Francis is asking. Marceau is like, Dr. Francis, I don't know nothing about him. What? I didn't sign up for this. And Tisha's like, yeah, Dr. Francis is waiting on you. You're coming. He was like, well, I have prior engagements, trying to back out. I'm like, Marceau, you just... Anyway, so they end up coming to the event, but they talk about how a friend had passed on. Now, maybe I'm insensitive. And I would hate for them to do this. I would hate for them to have done this. But I felt like they was lying. I don't know. And maybe that's just me in my mind. I'm like, is this scene real? Is she really sad? Are they really sad? Are they really doing this? Are they really doing that? I don't know. And it just didn't feel real to me. And maybe that's just my disdain for Marceau and well, I don't have disdain for Tisha, but my disdain for Marceau, maybe. I honestly, I couldn't tell you. But when Tisha got up on the thing and started crying, I was just looking like, what? Is this real? And then Marceau, with his mumbling self, he thinks he's so profound. He thinks he is so profound. And he just was saying, I had to rewind what Marceau said like 4 times, and I still didn't understand. It was something about making sure you love your loved ones or show them love or something. He was trying to sound so profound in that moment, and it was just falling so flat. I did not I had to rewind 4 times. I still don't understand what he said. But anywho, Miss Mary. Miss Mary is the definition of a woman who cannot get her titty out her son's mouth. Her son is 30-something years old, pushing 40. And there is no accountability for him at all. Martell has no accountability. Martell is that type of person who, when he was supposed to get in trouble, she didn't discipline him. And because, actually, you know what? Let me take that back. Actually, I do think when he needed discipline, he didn't really get disciplined like he was supposed to. But I think that she felt so much guilt with him being her only son and all this other stuff that she couldn't let him stay on the hook long enough. So he's gotten used to being let off the hook, right? And so anytime someone doesn't let him off the hook, he thinks that person is evil. He thinks that person is heartless or whatever. You can't go out and do wrong to somebody and then tell them how long they should be mad about it, how they should respond to it. Like, you cannot do that. You cannot dictate those things just so that you can alleviate your own feelings, because that's what's going on. So conversation goes on. His mom is talking about how, she still loves Melody, not gonna say nothing about her or anything, but she doesn't need to mistreat people. Mistreat people, Miss Mary? and I hope that's your name because I don't know. I forgot. Miss Mary, Melody did not mistreat Martell. I promise you that. Now, if she did cuss him out and tell him about himself, it's only because it's what he deserved, okay? She said, you don't gotta mistreat people. You gotta still have love in your heart. You still gotta have love in your heart. That lady don't gotta do nothing but stay black and die. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why, from a woman's perspective, as soon as black women become mothers to sons specifically, like, they forget about what it was like to be a woman at some point. I even remember growing up, like, with my mother. Like, my brother could get away with anything. He could do absolutely anything. My brother didn't have to clean. He didn't have to, baby, I don't even know if he was bathing like he was supposed to. My mother did not make him do anything. He would throw stuff around his room. My mom would ask him to clean stuff up. He'd throw stuff around under the bed, and she'd come in there and be like, this not clean. Ugh. I have to do everything for you. She went behind, clean up after him. I'm looking like, oh my gosh. Do mothers' brains just get turned off when they have boys? I don't understand. And then what they do is coddle them. And then they turn into these big ass walking man children like Martell, who cannot take accountability. Sir, just because Melody will not forgive you, just because Melody don't want to have nothing to do with you, just because Melody don't want to be fooled up with you, does not mean that she's evil or heartless. That means she's creating boundaries so that you will not continue to disrespect her in her world. That is what I need Miss Mary to tell him. But because she still got her titty in his mouth at the big ass age of 40, he will never understand. He will never learn that important life lesson. Okay, moving on. Dr. Francis. I'm just going to have to shout out Dr. Francis. Dr. Francis, you the man. You are a good man. He is a good man. And there's only a few. It's only a few. They are there. But it's only a few that have not been indoctrinated and socialized to be just complete. Well, we won't go there. I won't go there. But Dr. Francis is quite evolved and quite mature. He's been married for 40 years. He is a clinical psychologist. He is married. He knows the what and what about relationships. Him and his wife have been married and partnered. They partnered each other and host these couples retreats. And I absolutely love it. And I'm here for it. So Dr. Francis, when Tiffany comes back, calls her out about going out on this phone call during the session, right? So Tiffany, with her smug ass, she gets on my nerves. She wants to be the smartest person. Her Maurice Marceau, they all the same. they're very much the same. She has a smug look on her face, like, what are you talking about? I was waiting for the other couples. Again, deflecting, right? If I was here on time. The other couples were late. I was just utilizing the time that it took them to get here. Ma'am, again, that has nothing to do with being held accountable. Like, you need to be held accountable for this, right? I think that we all know that Tiffany married Lewis. I think we all know that Lewis married Tiffany because he was afraid of her. He was afraid. Any woman who would plan her own wedding without telling the man she wants to marry and do it as a surprise, there's a bigger scheme going on. There's a larger scheme going on, and Lewis needs to be afraid. He needs to be very afraid, okay? She said something about, and this really got me. I was like, oh, I have to write this down. She said something about, yes, my marriage is my priority. If it was a priority to get us married, it's a priority for me to maintain marriage. A priority to get us married. I don't know how I felt about that response to Dr. Francis. I don't know how I felt about her saying that. Maybe I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, like, it's a priority to get us married. Did you marry him for the right reasons? Or did you just marry him because you wanted to be married? Because it sounds like you've got abandonment issues, as we later on learn. And so you just didn't want him to leave. Is what it sounds like. But anyway, Again, and here's the thing, I'm not even gonna hold them. As Dr. Francis was getting into Tiffany ass, all the other couples, Maurice, Kimmy, Tisha, I thought all the shit Tiffany was talking about them, they was all sitting up there looking like, oop. And I can't even be mad, because I sure would have been real immature. I would have been petty like that too. I absolutely would have. So I get it. I'm not gonna hold them. So they play this ankle game. They take a rope, they tie it around their ankle, whichever leg that is tied. Well, the opposite leg. So if it's you choose your right leg, your partner has to choose their left leg, etc. And so they have to go outside and walk for about 10 to 15 minutes and see how they're able to walk. So it's who's supposed to be the leader. And so Maurice and Tisha literally, while I will give them that they figured out how to do the walking, but I feel like Tisha has been beaten into submission and she already knows to just wait to let Marceau take the lead. I really feel that way. But anywho, the other two couples, Tiffany and Lewis, were having an issue. Maurice and Kimmy, they got an issue because Maurice thinks that women are stupid and they don't know anything and that men should lead. He thinks that. So, and again, I'm like, so Marceau and Tisha understood the assignment as they were walking in the yard because they've been together longer. And again, because Tisha has been beaten into submission. That's really what it is. Tisha has been beaten into submission for 16 years. And Kimmy and Tiffany, their relationships haven't been around that long. So anyway, Dr. Francis makes a comment about, Marceau and Tisha making do with the process of the exercise, but Lewis has picked up Tiffany a couple times at her command, and that's really not what he was supposed to do. And he said, I don't know if he did it. He said he picked her up multiple times. He said, I don't know if he did it because he wanted to or if he did it because he was scared of her. Now, sir, you already know. Honestly, the way Dr. Francis explained the exercise, I loved it. It was such a great exercise to incorporate in a couples retreat. That was fun. So the scene changes, or fun to watch. So the scene changes and Stormy is in a peace room with her sound bowls, singing bowls, I think is what you call them. I'm not going to say anything negative. I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself. But I just find it ironic that Stormy is in a peace room with her bowls. It's irony. It's just irony. I'm going to be honest with you. I've kind of fast forwarded through this scene. I felt like it was a little bit of an interview with Melody. It was kind of like an interview. Stormy was here to interview Melody to set up the confrontation that she's gonna potentially have with Miss Mary. It just was back-to-back questions about Martell and when the last time you seen him, when the last time you talked to him, and it was just very unnatural kind of conversation to me. And even Melody's response, because you can tell when she fake, because she got a little being fake problem. You can tell her responses when she being fake or being pageantry, is very pageantry responses. I don't know. But anyway, honestly, I don't understand why Miss Mary would have a problem with Melody, because Martell is in the wrong. And Miss Mary know good and goddamn well he is. She know. Like, I know Miss Mary tried to make it seem like Martell was doing all the work when they were married. Anyway. Marceau Tisha is, Marceau's like, why didn't you tell me who was going to be with Miss Dr. Francis? Tisha was like, shit happens. You're here. Get along. Get over it, right? Maurice tells Kimmy that her way didn't move them forward. But when he took the lead, his way did. And then when he tried to, this is what he said specifically. He said, when you led, we weren't moving fast enough, right? When I led, I pulled you forward, I pulled you tight, and I led, we moved forward. Maurice, there is a such thing as you lead in this area because you have expertise here. She can lead in another area because she has expertise in that area. It doesn't always have to be one leader all the time. And for some reason, the Scott brothers, Martell, even though they've been raised by women, they've been indoctrinated to feel like women are subservient to them. And I don't understand where it's coming from. And actually, I do, as I'm saying it out loud. I know where it's coming from. But the way that it makes me enraged, I literally get I am so angry. And I'm holding back. I really am holding back. Because I'm not trying to cuss nobody. I'm not trying to cuss nobody out for like 10 minutes on this video. That's craziness. But anyway. He talked to her like she was a child and he knew better than her. Now, mind you, Kimmy's probably well into her 40s, almost in her 50s. I think Kimmy is like 7 to 10 years older than Maurice. But Maurice got the nerve to sit up here and talk to her like she's a child. And Kimmy just sat there and didn't say anything. Now, if she did say something and we didn't catch it, then that's my fault. But baby, I did not. She just looked at him like her usual batting of the eye. And I was just like, Kimmy, you just want to be married. Because there's absolutely no way on God's green earth that I would ever be married to a man who thinks that he is smarter than me and talks to me like he thinks that he is smarter than me. I think we all have our intelligence level. I think that we all can contribute. And I think that people pair with other people based on those intelligence levels. So if Maurice decided to marry Kimmy, he obviously understood her level of intelligence. And Kimmy is a very intelligent woman. And so why would you underestimate that? Why would you talk to her as if she doesn't have the capability? And when she's at least 10 years your senior. I don't understand. Anyway, I'm going to get off of them because Maurice. I don't like these men. I don't like them at all. Okay. So they have dinner at the retreat. You know, they're still at the retreat. Everyone's at the dinner. And so Dr. Francis is like, let's have a round robin. What did we learn? What we didn't learn? You know, the thing. Let's talk about all of the things. And so some things were revealed and I didn't even realize it, but it sort of makes sense. Tiffany's mom, the white lady, gave her up for adoption. But then Tiffany's adoptive parents were on drugs. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, wow, what an awful way to experience life. You know what I'm saying? So I had no idea. So I appreciated Tiffany for being open about that and talking about it. I mean, it was still kind of, you know, like, here's the problem, here it goes. But I still appreciate her just being open enough to talk about that. So as Dr. Francis was having the conversation with them, Dr. Francis was basically saying, you know, I feel like Lewis, you guys aren't open. I'm trying to tell you what's going on. You want to stay the way that you are. When I see things, you reject them. You have a rebuttal. You've got something to say. You're refuting everything that I'm talking about. And I'm an expert. And Kimmy even chimed in and said, this man is 40 years married, you know, clinical psychologist, has a degree, has the experience, and then you're not open to receive from him either, but you want other people to be open and receive from you. That's what it was giving. That's literally what's giving. And at first I was kind of like, Kimmy, be quiet. You need to focus on your man child. But it was fair. Now, what I will say is that I don't appreciate I still feel like these couples don't have any room to point the finger, okay? I still feel like Kimmy, Tisha, nobody, y'all need to be quiet. And y'all need to focus on your own marriage because y'all own shit is fucked up. But I also understand I would probably have said something too, because you're not about to sit up here, point the finger at my relationship, and then we seeing holes and shit in y'all's, but you're not open to hear what we have to say about your shit. So I got that. Marceau decides to pipe up and ask Tiffany about questions about why she's deciding to have a baby, and basically telling Louis, you know, if you have a baby, you ain't getting none now from your wife. You damn sure ain't gonna get none. We all have a baby. And I'm just looking at Louis, big oomfa loomfa, just Lulu. I'm looking at Lulu like, Lulu, just tell your wife you're not trying to have no baby. Just tell her. But I think he's afraid. He's afraid. And again, Dr. Francis said it probably about 4 times. He probably said it about 4 times. And so, but in that moment, I was like, Marceau, shut the fuck up. Mind your business. Tend to your own raggedy, trifling ass marriage. Tend to your own shit. Okay? Because it be the town clown. Okay? It be the town clown that always got some shit to say. Marceau, I keep fooling with their names. Marceau, be quiet now. Shh. Okay? Shut the fuck up. Mind your business. Okay? Don't be worried about what them people got going on. Now, you can kiki and snicker to yourself like I would. But don't you sit up in there and try to point out any... Hush. Okay? Anywho, that... I just... This show, I know it's gonna make me feel some kind of way. And so I'm gonna try very, very hard not to get as emotionally attached. Why do I say this every season? Every time? And it fails. It literally truly fails. So I'm gonna just be honest. I'm gonna be fully involved. I'm fully involved in this show. I absolutely love it. And I love just dragging these raggedy ass men. It's fun. So anyway, if you stuck around long enough to watch my video, you might as well hit the like button. Might as well hit the subscribe button, and comment down below. Let me know what you think. Are you a Melody fan? You probably are. There are a lot of them out there. I am not a Melody fan. I can appreciate that she went through a lot, and I can appreciate a woman who has gotten her stuff together and moved on. I appreciate that. However, I still think that she has a little being fake problem, but that's none of my business. That's neither here nor there. Martell, what you think about Martell? Like, he just, and now he with Sheree, and oh Lord, like, I just please, women, mothers, please explain to me this sick, almost borderline weird, psychotic relationship that symbiotic relationship that you have with your sons. It's just the weirdest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. It's like your brains get switched off when you have a son and you don't know how to operate anymore. I don't get it. Anyway, get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. My name is Belle. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my growing channel. The goal is to get to 50 by the end of this month. We're almost at 40, so I believe it's an attainable goal. Anywho, I will talk to you later, and I will see you in the next video. I am going to be talking about House of the Dragon. It was some real disturbing shit up in that episode, but I'm going to try to mumble through it. I'm going to try to, or muddle through it. So, anywho, all right, you guys take care.